What is up, guys, and welcome to another video. The Knicks lose drop one to the Orlando Magic, and you know, this was some game where I was like, okay, let's talk about this. Jalen Suggs is out, so will the defense for the Magic take a hit? And it didn't. It didn't because they have players in Anthony Black, they have players in Jonathan Isaac who really helped their defense a lot. So they don't really need to rely on Jalen Suggs that much, even though Jalen Suggs is such a good defender. But they didn't really need him today. And Anthony Black did a solid job on Brunson. But my number one thing was compete. If you're the New York Knicks, you just have to compete. You just have to compete. And you might be undermanned. They might be better on paper, but you have to compete because you have the best player in the game, in my opinion. So you have to compete, and you're always gonna have a chance with Jalen Brunson. You're always gonna have a chance with the best player in the game, of course. But I was expecting Alec Burks' big time game. I thought somebody was gonna have to step up next to Brunson, and no one did. No, that's not true. Precious did, but no one, like no other guard, stepped up, and Burks and whatever, didn't even play good. But yeah, will we see Jacob top minutes? And we did. Um, that wasn't good. I mean, it was good in 11, but I what I was watching was a lot of just in real game moments, like when the game actually mattered. He looked lost defensively and offensively. He couldn't hit a jump shot, so that couldn't help me either. He had a swing pass for a wide open three, went in like a big time shot in the game that could have stemmed the tide. Couldn't make it because he can't shoot the three ball, and you can't play if you can't shoot the three ball because all they're gonna do is leave you open. Um, Pressure on Paulo, and I think Precious did a great job on Paulo Banchero. Um, I think he made Paulo sell out for all these 3 point shots. He knocked them all down, by the way, which he will never knock them down again. And Knicks have such bad luck because Paulo will never do that again. And I'm gonna mark that in my calendar. I'm gonna mark that down. Paulo will never do that ever again. What he just shot today will never happen again. He's not a 3 point shooter. He's a get to the basket type guy. And Precious did such a good job forcing him out to the 3 point line. Yeah, as I said, force them to shoot. Look, the Knicks forced them to shoot, but they were just hitting every single shot. So it's like, I'm gonna live with that. I'm gonna lose by them shooting me out of the game because I know they can't do that, and I know they're gonna have to force themselves inside. And they are one of the best teams when it comes to getting inside. They have, they might not have the most jarring out slashers, but they can get your body. They have a very, very good downhill player in Paulo Banchero. They have Franz Wagner. They just have smart players who get into the body and score, and they can deter a shot blocker, and they're good at that. Brunson double teams, and they were doubled him on the first possession of the game. He turned it over. So that was like, a moment where like, scratch that, we're done, bring the ball up, it's our ball now. Let's run it again. And he blitzed him, he hit the pass. But that was the thing, like, you're gonna see a ton of blitzes and everything, but usually we'll find the open man and just be like, okay, if Josh Hart's gonna miss a wide open three, it ain't my fault. Like, it ain't my fault. It's Tibbs' fault for putting him in the game. That's all you gotta say. It's gonna hit the old man. Coach Mosley being very, into the game was very nice because I don't see a lot of coaches who are into the game as Jamal Mosley. He's yelling defensive game plans. Thibodeau was also in the game as well. He yells like fire to double, and that's it. I mean, but Jamal Mosley's calling out like the switch under over, and I just think that's beautiful because not a lot of coaches today really do that, and they don't really yell out for the team, and I think it shows up in the way that the Magic produce defensively. Is the way they're just coached. Um, please protect the paint. As I said, protecting the paint was something that was on the top of my mind. It was, how are the Knicks going to protect the paint? And they didn't do such a good job. I mean, they did. They made Paolo set up for some threes, but again, at the end of the day, they were able to get into the paint, and that's how the Magic have been living this whole entire year, by getting in the paint and also defending. Yeah, does this remind you of the We Here Knicks? Yes, it does. It does. It definitely does, because that's what I kind of compare them to the Knicks of 2021 in the when Knicks regular season, there's no one there, and we had Kova Julius who was just going off. That was the kind of Knicks team that I would compare to that Magic team. They can get inside, maybe not have the best 3-point shooters, but they can knock it down. Like they have one like Reggie Bullock, and that's like it. But I compare that to them because the Knicks in that time were just trying to get in the paint. They had Julius Randle at the helm, just gotta get in that paint. And the Knicks in that time did a very good job until the playoffs hit, but they really hung their head on defense. And on the defensive side of the ball, having starting out for Peyton, and there's going to be like PTSD moments, but starting out for Peyton, have a Reggie Bullock at 2, really mucked it up for the other team, made the other team, made the other guards really scared of going up against them because of the defense. Because of the suffocating defense the Knicks always put on. And I think I compare it to the Magic team of just a suffocating defense they put on other teams and just the way they're coached. And the way they're just perfectly coached. They know each other. They know they can really recover on broken, on kind of like, closeout opportunities. They're very good at that. Rotations, they're perfect. They're to T. And shout out Coach Mosley also for that one. That goes up for the coaching. He's perfect. He's doing a perfect job up there in Orlando. I mean, down there in Orlando. I'm not the best geography person in the world, but I can tell you that's down. That Florida is down. From Jersey. Gonna be a lot of misses, so please keep up the rebounds. And I think that was my biggest thing. That was one of my biggest things because the Knicks and the Magic are both teams that are gonna miss shots. The Knicks are gonna miss shots because they're injured and because they're going with a lot of Brunson. Maybe he'll be short on one. So the rebounding was a big factor, and also the Magic. If you're forcing the threes, a lot of threes are gonna be missed. That's why I thought it was not. It didn't come to fruition. That was in one of my early notes of the game because I just wanted to see would that come to fruition. It did not. The Magic kept hitting, and then there was no. The Knicks did dominate the boards, in my opinion, as the eye tests would say. They dominate on the boards. Precious and Sims were active, so that was really um um canceled out as a lack of a better word, canceled out because of the just amazing shooting by the um by the Magic from 3. I was gonna say try the zone, which that wouldn't help because OKC in the last game tried the zone, but they had Jalen Suggs to break it. Jalen Suggs shooting like 39% from 3 this season. He's doing a great job from that 3-point line, also defense. But he's not in the game though. Same with Gary Harris, another stretch player who could stretch your defense out. Like you're missing a lot of key pieces who will stretch your defense out. So why not try a zone? Why not get the ball in the middle of the window? Why not make a decision to throw it out to Anthony Black for 3? Why not try that? Why not entice him to throw it out to Anthony Black for 3? Like, why not try to make him pass out to Markelle Fultz? Or Markelle Fultz wasn't playing, by the way. Shoot, that's another play. I wasn't playing. I don't even know why. I just exposed myself. Man. Markelle Fultz wasn't playing. I'm sorry. I'm it's 2 hours since the game, so it's like, yeah. It's been a pretty long time, and I'm just trying to. So they had players who really couldn't shoot the basketball, who couldn't really make shots at the highest level. Why is this Pelicans Wizard game just staying at 123 to 127? Is there like a big time fight that I'm like missing out on? It's got to be something like Malice at the Palace because there's no way it stayed at 56.4. So, but as I'm looking at the stats here, it's up there as well. But the Magic were starting players like a Caleb Houston. Why not just let him shoot? That was my kind of thing. Steal easy points, and that was one of the things there when you have Josh Hart. He had a very good floor game, and I felt like yes, he could hit his shots, but I feel like I'm very used to that. I'm very used to that, and Josh Hart was able to balance the floor, get in transition, get those easy baskets. For other players, kick it out for 3. He had some good kickouts to Jalen. Like he was doing a great job in transition. Yeah, Josh Hart, as I said, is important. He's important. As much as you might hate his shooting, he's important. A push on that basketball. When you're injured and you need a lot of easy buckets, and Thibs is yelling, push, 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 go, go, go. And that's so he's doing that for a reason. He's yelling that out for a reason. He's yelling that out because the Knicks are injured and they can't really, other than Brunson, it's like half court offense, like Alec Burks ISO. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. So you have to push the ball up in transition. You can't just rely on half court offense with Alec Burks. More Deuce, less Burks, and that's why I was sad. I mean, Deuce McBride was having a pretty quiet, good game. He just feels confident. And it feels like less. I feel like I'm getting a less volume of him, a less sample size now, just less shots because of Burks coming in. But I like him way more than Alec Burks right now at this moment. I will like Burks better when I get later in the season. I can tell you that. Just give him 10 more games. I swear. This is my thing with Alec Burks. Everybody listen. Do not panic. Do not panic. Do not panic. Alec Burks will be fine once he gets that backup point guard role. When he can do what he can do when he stagger with Jalen. He got put in the fire of just, playing a lot of minutes. And, that's not something that Burks can do. He's a guy that will give you some buckets off the bench, play decent defense, and that's it. But he's trying to do a little bit too much. But I think I'll understand that, and I think that's why you're coaching. Tell you, okay, you're doing a little bit too much, so let's slow it down. But I think because of the confines of the offense right now, he has to do more. He's forced to do more. I don't feel like at like Brooks' age and at how he kind of like a little bit regressed, I don't really see him doing that much on a daily basis when the Knicks are fully healthy on a game day basis. I don't see him doing that much. That's why I'm like, do I really jump off the Alec Burks train right now? No. We're going through the next station, and we're gonna wait till the next station, and maybe we'll jump off to the next station, but we're gonna stay on the train, and we're gonna hope that once we get to that next station, everybody's there and everybody's ready, and so I could just sit down in my chair and not be able to stand up in the train anymore, and just be able to sit down. But you get the point. I'll be on the Alec Burks train until he proves me otherwise, and until the injured players come back. If the injured players come back and Alec Burks is hurting the offense, then we'll have a problem. But besides that, no, I'm not gonna really go through with that. Non-Jalen Brunson minutes hurt us. And I was expecting that, but again, it just looks so bad. It just looks so bad without him, and it's something. It's injuries. I mean, injuries are the biggest thing. I just think that we could get a little bit more, as I said, out of Alec Burks, but it's just too much. When you're playing Alec Burks is your primary shot creator, no, that's not gonna happen. That's not why they got him. Like, he's strictly there for buckets. He's not there to get schemed for and be the best player on the court. He should never be that guy. And he was. I mean, not the best player on the court, the best guard in the court, the guy that you're going to give the ball to and be like, let's get out the way and let's try to get a bucket. That's kind of his role. It's just get buckets, but it's not in that kind of confine in the offense. Let's pump and go. Let's do one dribble, pull up. Like, that's the stuff that I want him to do. And he can sprinkle in the ISOs, but you don't have to do so much. You don't have to pound the basketball and go for a pull-up midi. Yes, he can hit it, but again, at this age, I want him to get easier buckets, and I think it will be helpful for him once he get help off of OG. Well, once OG can stagger minutes with him, and he can get OG and Bojan setting him up, I think that'll be great. So that's gonna be it, and. Pressure. Let me. That's not gonna be it. Let me give a shout out to Pressure Chua again. Battle on the board, big man. Shout out to Jericho Sims as well. Didn't have as good of a game as Chua, but also battle on the boards. Them two are just next man up type mentality. They may not be in the lineup when everybody gets healthy, but they know this is their opportunity to go out. And I think that Jericho Sims will get a place to play somewhere else. And even if it's not in New York, I think we'll get the place to play somewhere else. And he's just showing it out today that he can be a center. He might be out of the rotation. He definitely will be out of the rotation when the Knicks everybody comes healthy. But he's just telling the rest of the league, bro, I can play. Like, I know the Knicks might sit me for the next, last 2 months of the season, but I can play. I'm not that guy. You know, the Knicks just have a ton of weapons that they can use that are better than me. But hey, Memphis, hey, Minnesota. I'm just throwing out names, but you could need me. But Minnesota might not need him. I just threw out Memphis, Minnesota. But Brooklyn, hey, like those are the type of teams that those are gonna be the teams that hey, like Jericho Sims, like he's somebody that we could at least use off the bench. But yeah, that's gonna do it. See you guys after the All-Star break. Have a nice time chilling. I mean, this Knicks team needs the All-Star break more than I need breakfast, I guess. When I need breakfast, this Knicks team needs the All-Star break because everybody's getting injured. And I think it would be so good once the Knicks come back and just Dante's done with his hamstring. Bojan just gets his calf ready. OG gets a little bit better. Randall, we're on the cusp of him returning. Mitchell Robinson, I haven't heard anything about him, but I feel like he didn't reevaluate soon. So we're on the cusp of him returning. And Isaiah Hartenstein will get his sore Achilles back to normal. And he'll just have to run into it, get a little bit. But he's on the cusp of returning. Like, the Knicks are fine. I think they're fine and good. And this is the best time for them to get injured because they have about 9 days to figure it out. 9 days to figure it out. Not 9 days exactly. They have 8 days to figure it out. 8 days to figure out whatever you have a problem with. Go to your trainer. Let's figure it out because we gotta get going. Like February 22nd against 76ers. Boom. Snap of the finger. We're done with the season. You gotta get going. I know you're sitting pretty in fourth, but you gotta get going because people on the East are gonna come down and they want what you have. Magic want what you have. Heat want what you have. Like the Sixers, even though they're kind of injured, banged up, but Tyrese Maxey wants to be that four. Like people want what you have, and that's the 4 seed. So you gotta keep fighting, and you need people to come back. But that's gonna do it. Have a nice day. Subscribe, turn on post notifications, and peace.